Hello folks, Gary here at Gary's Practical Workshop. Yes, I know it's been ages, absolutely ages since I've been in touch with anybody. All sorts of things been going on, work, travel, various different projects in the house or bungalow. It's been cold, it's been miserable. Where are we now? February now. So that's really why I haven't been around. I know that I said we'd start on this motor, but things just get in the way, life gets in the way. Anyway, we're here now. So today, what I thought I would do today is just go through this. I'm going to bring you over a little bit. See if we can line you up with the engine. There you go. What I thought I'd do today is see if we can have a go at getting these pots off. Pots, jugs, cylinders, block, depends where you come from, I guess. So I'm going to turn these round. I'll tell you what did catch me out though. I didn't notice this before. The rust in there. I don't know if you guys can see that. I'm going to take you off the pod so you can have a look at this. This is how not to let a clutch hub get. Can you guys see that rust? Now that must have been in there ever since I bought the bike. If I remember rightly, the clutch was a little bit sticky when I got it. We're going to see if we can get this chap off here. So I'm going to use my impact driver and some big sockets. So let's see what we got. Just wrecking the place so everything's falling down. Put that together. Not quite sure what size that is. I know it's big. Oh, next one up. So that's 27. What have we got? It's warmed up a lot actually. It's February, but it does seem to be a bit uncannily warm. There we go. So let's see if we can get that off. Whilst we're here. Now normally I would probably lock this up, but because it's on an impact driver, it's going to be pretty quick. Excuse me a sec. There we go. So not off the clutch, and there's some parts on there. There's a washer, spacer, which is really important. So I'm going to tidy up and lay this out as it should be laid out. Move that actually, we can use that area. So the way it comes off is nut, spacer, that way round. Helps to lay it out the way it comes off so you don't get confused when it goes back. Then we got the centre hub. That won't come out, of course, until we split the cranks, because the gear, let me just show you what I mean. You'll probably find this on most Jap bikes actually, or Jap multis anyway. If we look in here, you can see the gear up there. That gear up there won't allow the clutch to come off the shaft, but it's not a big deal because we're going to strip all this anyway. But what I'd like to do to start the project, is we're just going to get the block off. So I'm going to put that one over to one side. So what I'm going to do is spin it round. Let's just bring you up a little bit, guys. Let's just check that. So we got you in the frame. Yeah, that's all right. Right, let's put that chain. We can more or less let that chain drop because it ain't going to be much use. I did free these. Sometimes they can be a pig to separate from the crankcase. If you do it and you tap it with a soft hide mallet, be careful you don't snap the fins. Sometimes it's best to just wobble it back and forth. Right, let's see what we got. I think I might need the hide mallet after all. Worst case scenario is in there stuck and people put a screwdriver in there. Bear in mind that these two, I believe it's these two or these two, they're the oil ways that come up and feed the cams. I think it's both of them actually. I can't remember. I think it might be that one. It comes up and then feeds across into the head. But the worst case scenario is when you put a screwdriver in there and start levering it, because it puts a dent into that surface and before you know it you end up with an oil leak or a compression leak. Now, it wouldn't be compression leak, would it? Just be an oil leak, but it's just not good to do that. So I'm going to use a little hide mallet and see if I can tap it. Now, because I freed these earlier, it shouldn't be too much of a job. Again, go careful. So we can turn that crank over. I'm tapping there because there's more aluminium there because there's a bolt that goes down through and there's less chance of snapping a fin. Patience. You see the gap opening? Now it's free. Chain's gone in, doesn't matter because it's all coming apart anyway. Well, the reason why that was so hard is because the gasket was stuck on this surface and the base surface. But it's okay now, it's coming slowly. Let's make some room. We're going to be leaving the rings and the pistons. I'm leaving the pistons behind on cylinder. In fact, we've already done it on cylinder 2 and 3. These are top dead center. Trick is try and get it level. Let's move these gaskets. Here he comes. Lot of mud and crud in there. So there we go. It's amazing how much dirt has fallen out, which is trapped where the studs are, down these holes. So that's that. So the block. Let's have a look at the block. Right, I'm going to bring you guys over. Now I don't know if you can see this, but the damage or the state of these bores, they're not good. And I'll tell you what, it really does surprise me. This is the typical high level of engineering standard of Kawasaki. Bear in mind that this block is probably about 40-50 years old. It's got a few marks in there. You can feel them with your fingernail, and yet the bike would still run no problem. But it does need attention. All four. That's that side. You can see the lines. Can you see the lines, guys? Don't know if you can. Let's get a torch. Just bear with me. Can you see those lines? Let's make that a bit brighter. Yeah. Not good. Not good at all, and it's the same on every pot. So it really needs attention. That one's particularly poor. You can see that there. Number 2. And number 3 is just as bad. I do believe we'll have to rebore these, maybe first oversized 0.5 mm. Let's see how we go. Okay, I'm going to put you back on the pod. Now, need to get these pistons off, and we'll mark them on the inside of the skirt as to which one they are: 4, 3, 2 and 1. So I need my tool for this. It's a special tool which allows me to pull the gudgeon pin out, sometimes known as the wrist pin across the pond, but we tend to call it a gudgeon pin. So let's see what we got here. So I need to push from that direction. So this is why I put 1 and 4 top dead centre, because they're going to be the first ones to be done. And I didn't want to turn the crank when the block is off, because it's going to just disturb all this, and there's going to be more rubbish go down into the bore, so I don't want into the crankcase. I don't want to do that. So let's see what we got here. So I need to take the outer ones off first and collect them so we know we've got it. So let's get my pliers. Got mail. Well, well, well. There's a surprise. There they are. Never be tempted to use the same ones again. And the reason I put them on there is so that I know how many I've taken off, and therefore I know how many I've got to go back on. Let's see if that gudgeon pin will come out on its own. Oh, we might be lucky. So I'm going to get probably a socket shaft, an extension shaft to push it through. That one will do nicely. And that one may help as well. Push this through. This will go through the hole of the gudgeon pin and allows me to pull it out. So that's that piston. Now I need to do with that gudgeon pin, and that gudgeon pin goes in that way. Getting some dirt on here from the block. So now I'm going to take this piston out. I'll try not to get in front of the camera, guys. There he is. Put these on here. 1, 2. I wonder if I'm lucky and I'll get this one to pull out as well. No. Maybe, might be able to tap it out. Mustn't tap too hard though. He's going slowly. He's not going to go that easy, and I might need my puller, which puts might be a good idea to warm them up actually. That would help. Get me puller. Yeah, it's such a long time I used this. This is just a homemade device or homemade tool. It only rests on the side of the piston, but it doesn't touch the part where the bore is. Need a little spanner for that. Now I can't remember if this is 6mm or 8mm. It's 8. Let's get more whips. I want to make this a little bit more permanent, really. It's very slow, it's very controlled. That's until you drop the spanner, of course. A bit further. It's easing up now a lot. Well, might need to go a little bit more. so we don't put in any of the delicate areas of the piston. Yeah. Because we don't really need to get the gudgeon pin right out. just needs to clear the small end, which I think it probably has. And there we go. The way this works, this is on a stud. These two are bonded together because I didn't have a long enough stud, but it doesn't make any difference. This all goes through the gudgeon pin. Oops. And this bit goes through the bore of where the gudgeon pin sits, but it's slightly narrow, but it pulls on the pin, so it pulls it uniformly, pulls it true. I think true is probably the better word. So as you tighten it up, it pulls that down, and obviously you're seeing the effect, it pulls the gudgeon pin out. Now that's just cleared. It's just cleared enough to get the big end out, sorry, the small end out, the gudgeon pin out. We'll get the piston off the cog rod. Now that, you may be able to tap that out. So I can get a better rod. Now I'm using a light hammer here. What I've got here is one of those, but a lot longer. Then I push that one into there. Now if you can see that, it's not going to burn anything or damage, but then we can tap that. Notice the light hammer. There it goes. Now it came out that way because I saw it fall, so we put it that way on number 4. And you could probably get away with putting the gudgeon pin in anyway, but I like to put things back as they come out because you never really know. If it goes back the same, then great. Although having said that, these pistons will probably be redundant, because if we go for first oversized bore, 0.5 of a mil, then they're not going to be used for anything. Maybe someone might need them, because they don't look too bad from what I can see. May well be, if we're really lucky, it may well be that we can get away with honing those barrels, and maybe another set of rings. Who knows? Let's see how we go. So we'll put that back. Let's have a little bit of a tighten. Look at that naughty boy. Broke cam chain tensioner. So there's our gaskets. They're redundant, obviously. Broken cam chain tensioner.
You've got mail.
I've got mail. Better check it in a minute. So, what I'm going to do now is turn the crank so that 2 and 3 are top dead centre, and we'll then work from the outside again taking the circlip out on that one and the circlip out on that one. Let's turn the crank. There we go. Let's go for the hardest one first, because I've got to do it left-handed because of the camera. Push the gudgeon pin out of the way as far as it'll go back, and twist and pull. Now that's quite strange because the gap on there was right at the gap at the bottom of the piston. Not good. So whether that's worked its way round inside there, which I very much doubt, or somebody's put it in with the gap here right at the base of the hole, which is not a really smart move, but I got it out. And now I'll do this one. Well, that one's at 9 o'clock as you look at the hole. Yeah, sorry guys, battery went flat on the GoPro. Right, so we've got these two circlips out, so now I want to see if we can move these out that way. Now, I don't know where they're going to go. Might need the puller again. Let's have a look. Oh, he's come. Lovely. So that one's number 2. And the gudgeon pin came out that way. Let's see what we got on number 3. No, don't think he's going to go. Let's try it with a bit of a tap. Mustn't tap too hard because you can bugger up the small ends. No, that's fixed. That's very hard. So the puller is coming out yet again. Not so easy on this side because the studs tend to get in the way. Putting them back to front here. So we're going that way. Might take a little longer this one because, as I said, the studs get in the way. I really need to improve this. But it works, albeit a bit archaic. Need to line that tube up a bit better than that. I think what I'm going to do is put one of the piston skirts on there. Should make it a little bit easier. What if I got a deep socket, 8mm deep socket? It's not that tight actually, it doesn't feel that tight. The good thing about this is it's pulling it uniformly, if that's the right word. True. It's pulling it true. There we are. I'm going to keep going with this one because I don't want to set it up again. And it'll pull it right out with a bit of luck. That is look at that, I can twist it by hand. Yep, that's home. Use that socket to take the knot off. Not easier. Well, so far. Disassemble all that. Disconnect them all grips. Take the tool out, and with a bit of luck, he says with a great deal of intrepidation, not quite home, so we can push it home. So very loose. Pull him out, push him the other way, and off comes the piston with the gudgeon pin still in. So we're going to push him right out. If you guys can see what I'm doing there, same as last time. Come out that way, so I should go back that way. So that's all 4 pistons off. Let's put the tool back together. Back, clean up a bit. Right, okay. Well, we've got so far. I think the next thing to do is to start looking at what we can do with this. First of all, that's got to come off, the little pressure switch. We can start taking some of these off. But I've got to go out later to see a customer. Nothing to do with bikes, it's to do with what I do for a living, which is IT. So let's bring you to the camera. I'm going to leave it there for now, guys. This is just the first part of what I should have said on the outset. Actually, do you remember, if you cast your mind back, go back to the beginning of the project, there was phase 1, phase 2 and phase 3. I'm probably repeating myself just so that anybody that's just joined the channel, just come in to see what we're doing. This is the last phase. This is phase 3, which is the strip down and rebuild of the engine that came out. So for the moment I'm going to leave it there. I will be back later. I'm going to sign out. If you like what you see, I know I've been around for a long time, if you like what you see, don't give up on the channel. Obviously we've got things to do and we get busy in other areas, but if you like what you see, please do click and subscribe. Any comments about anything you've seen today, if you got different ideas, different ways of doing things, I'm open to all of it. If there's something that you feel I've done wrong, let me know, because we all learn. Even at my age now, you never stop learning. Every day's a school day. So on that note, I'm going to sign out. I'll be back later. Take care, ride safe, see you soon. Bye.